You know what? I've never listened to Metallica really. You've seen me rock the occasional "And Justice for All" shirt, and that's true. That's the only Metallica album that I can say that I've listened to front to back. Um, in multiple. In fact, I love that album. I know what front to back. Also, I'm a little shaky on the track list or the track order because it's only during the last like 5 years that I've sat down and listened to it on Spotify, so I'm not holding the physical copy like this. But it's actually this weekend. 2 days ago was the first time I've ever sat down and listened to the Black Album, and I thought it was great. I had it on while I studied the school stuff, and I thought, wow, as it was like on its second play through the songs, I thought, man, this is a great album, and I'm super glad that I got to discover it now because it's great. I like it. Yeah, I was too young to appreciate it when it came out. I had a couple of years later, I had half of Enter Sandman on a mixtape. I thought it was cool. I liked the guitar solo, but overall, Enter Sandman wasn't heavy enough or raw enough, so I didn't really care about it that much. And then, so that was my introduction to Metallica. Didn't really care. And then a bit later, Metallica got even lamer. A friend of mine was like so fucking into Load and Reload. He's like, "Oh man, you gotta listen to Metallica. It's the best shit ever." And all he ever listened to was like Load, and it was weird. I didn't even realize until later that Metallica was this like legendary thrash band. I just thought it was like the dad rock band that did like a Enter Sandman song and fucking whatever songs were on Load and then Reload. But yeah, long story short, nowadays I know what Metallica is. I know what they've done, and I like them. I like I love And Justice for All, and so far that's pretty much the only album I've dabbled with. Of course I've listened through Master of Puppets, but and some songs off that album I love, or specifically one song which is the Thing That Should Not Be. So fucking good. It's probably my favorite song of theirs ever. And then Ride the Lightning I've never really listened to, or Kill 'Em All either, but yeah. All this is to say that Saint Anger, Saint fucking Anger, when it came out, I thought, hey, wow, this is actually cool. The two songs that I heard played on the radio or TV was Frantic and Saint Anger, and I thought, yeah, this is cool. This is different. This sounds different and cool. It's not bad. And then the radio and TV stopped playing those songs because the year wasn't 2004 anymore. And then I forgot about it, and it wasn't until later that I, of course, realized what a kind of what a comedic album that is, and what its legacy is and stuff, and like learn about how people were bitching about the production or the drum sound, specifically the snare. And I never understood that really, because to me, it's like, yeah, the snare is super loud in the mix, or the drums. It's like essentially the album mixing is poor. The drums are too loud in the mix. The snare is too loud. But people talk about the tone of the snare or the ringing of the snare as if it's inherently bad, and it's like, no, what the fuck, get out of here. A snare is a beautiful instrument with tons of tone and texture and overtones, and you can play a snare. A real good drum player, man, or a woo man, I guess they're called drummers. I've heard this term used before. They get like 16 tones out of a snare. So, approaching a snare like it's supposed to sound like a fucking deathcore snare from the year 2008 up until now is disastrous to me. I hate it. I love a good ringing snare. So, I remember when I started playing drums, and people were back then were crazy. People were sort of coming off this, but at one point, people were crazy about the plastic rings, that the dampening rings that you put on top of the snare head and the floor tom head, and I hated it. I fucking always hated it. It made the snare sound, and tom, it made the snare sound muffled. It killed all the ringing. It killed all the tones. It killed all the texture, all the notes in the snare. And people were like, "Hey, it's to stop the snare from ringing out so much. It's to stop the snare from sounding like a snare drum." It's like, what the fuck? You like tape the strings of a guitar too, to be like, yeah, it's to stop the guitar from sounding like a good. It sounds too much, you know. It has too much tone. This guitar has too much notes and qualities and tones. It's too rich of a sound. We need to tape it down. We need to mute this fucking guitar. It's fucking stupid. Anyway, so the snare, it's fine that it's ringing. It's fine. The album mixing is bad. Okay, so Saint Anger, the album. I've heard, of course, Saint Anger and Frantic, and one of the song is "Shoot Me Again." I ain't dead yet. Dun-dun-dun. I love that one. But other than that, I've never sat down and I think I've tried to listen to Saint Anger once, like ironically, a few years back. And what I realized, it's the problem with the album's not the snare or the cringy lyrics. It's the song structures. It's the material they worked in the album, like that "Shoot Me Again" song. I love the chorus, like this cheesy Alice in Chains sort of Fifth Harmony. I won't go away, and even Lars does like a cool drum group in that song. It's like he does like an opening hi hat thing, which is cool, and he does like a offbeat splash in that verse groove, which is cool. It's creative, and then after a cool verse, there's like a fucking 30-second "shoot me again, shoot me again, shoot me again, shoot me again, come on, shoot me again" part, which is like, what the fuck? Why did they have to include that part? And then comes a cool chorus, which is mixed so badly it's terrible. It's like sounds like one guitar track just like right down the middle, fucking mono. And it's just, oh, it could have been so much better. And then there's like so many superfluous shit parts in the song to pad out like the ideas to make a solid 3-minute song. And that, I think, is my impression of the entire fucking album. So with this entire fucking preamble, this reaction is pretty much like a song on Saint Anger. It's rambling, and it's got a lot of filler, and I will choose now randomly one of the songs that I haven't listened to or don't remember anything about on this album, excluding Frantic, Saint Anger, and Shoot Me Again. Well, I mean, those I do know. And, well, Some Kind of Monster, I remember that one. That was a terrible riff that Kirk can't play. What do we have? We have The Unnamed Feeling. That has a lot of plays. Okay, Metallica, The Unnamed Feeling, reaction. What the fuck? I'll say it's so sloppy. The execution is so sloppy. Now, okay, that's not inherently a bad thing. Just as when I said that the production is bad, the production is raw, and that's not inherently a bad thing. Let's say that. You know what? You know what I actually like about what I like about Saint Anger is the bad production. It has attitude, something that fucking Death Magnetic, which I heard like 20 seconds of, has not, or like Hardwired to Self-Destruct. It's like, it's so bland, it's so whatever. But at least Saint Anger had like a fuck you attitude that comes across in the way it's mixed and the way it sounds. And so intentionally bad mixing or sloppy or raw mixing isn't bad in and of itself, but then you need to have a tight performance. And what happens here is not tight performing. It's like and then a clean guitar came on top of that, but it came in like badly. It wasn't tight. You need to be fucking, I want to hear this again. It's like, what the fuck? Okay, so here's like the beats like this, okay? Oh, it's fine, but whoever's doing the clean part is like really off with the iffy with the tempo. Is that the bass? Sounds like the production is muddier than I remember. So is this like an artistic choice to mix this song, like make it sound like muddy, like it's behind the fucking curtain or whatever, behind these curtains maybe? God, was that a fucking turntable? Another thing that's not inherently bad, but linking this album so strongly to the year 2003. 2003 is like new metal is already like Linkin Park, who I never liked, were already past the whole wiki thing, weren't they? They were like doing like fucking straight up pop stuff at that point already, which in a way their first albums were anyway. It's like basically back in the year of whatever the fuck, whenever Linkin Park's first album came out, they came out with a pop album because new metal was pop then. And then Jay-Z, the Numb stuff. Then they made the next, or that album was the pop of that year, which was like Faint and stuff. And I like Faint. I like actually that song. I like the songs that were on like the radio back in the day with like, well, not Numb. That song is fucking stupid and shit. But Faint was cool. Probably just because of the string sample. That part. But that was also like the year of, I think, Toxic, Britney Spears. So fucking Linkin Park, like the biggest trend hopping shit band of all time. And they're like hailed as, yeah, oh, they sure got me into heavy music. Oh, they sure are fucking good still to this day for that. No, they're not. What the fuck? But anyway, I have to rewind now. Because was that the only thing that makes it worse is that if it wasn't an actual turn, like by all means, if you're gonna include a turntable on a track, then treat it like the fucking instrument and art form that it is. Another thing that kills me is I want like a revival of like new metal bands nowadays is like ironically putting in like turntable like scratching as like a ha ha thing, which is like the arrangements of said turntables are like a fucking guy just going like some fucking guy, the singer of the band, has composed the turntable parts by going like, okay, then we need like a wiki wiki wee, wiki wee, wiki wee wee wee, wiki wiki wee, wiki wiki wee, and then the guy's like, haha, it's hilarious, let's put it in. Okay, here's some fucking turntable samples, and it's like, no, do you understand that being a DJ, scratching, the turntablism in itself is an instrument, is an art form. You can't just have a fucking some shithead that doesn't understand what it's about compose a part of an instrument like haha, like, oh my, this is super now off the rails, but yeah, this sounds, if it even is a turntable part, it sounds like some fucking dude in Metallica going, oh yeah, we need a turntable part. I think the turntables go whack whack wah, whack whack wah, whack whack wah, whack whack wah, and it's like, well, if that's the level of understanding that you have towards scratching and DJing, then maybe you shouldn't fucking include that then, or better yet, get an actual DJ turntablists to do the part and compose the part and fucking just go all in with the fucking DJ instead of just having like a shameful little wickety wickety wee thrown in there. Okay, I don't even know if I can fucking go through with this reaction. 13 minutes. And I'm in 1 minute into the song. Okay, let's just listen to the fucking thing. Lars is a little creative here as well with the... He didn't have to do that with the hi-hat, but he does it because he was in a creative state of mind, apparently. And listen to the snare here. It's fine. It's got the snares off. Hey, everyone sucks Danny Carey's dick for having the snares turned off. Why is Lars's fucking snare bad when Danny Carey's is the fucking... It sounds like the drums are like driven through like a high cut filter. Because like this, they have the snare has the cymbals have all the crispness and all the ping sucked out of them. What I want to know is like, why is this track played the most out of all the not hit songs on this album? What makes this song the best of the shit pile? Probably the Wiggity Walk. And again, it was a 7-minute track, and thus far it's pretty much been this one part. My cat fell asleep while listening to this. Lars is being super creative again. He's trying to make this shit interesting. Kirk and James were zoned out on God knows what, creating the most boring, pointless riffs in these meandering 8-minute arrangements. Lars is like, maybe open the hi-hat, maybe play the snare on the 1, maybe the 4, I don't know. Also, James sounds like this James has sounded this entire song like he's making up the vocal arrangement as he goes along. He's like, yeah, and then it goes like this, and then it goes like this, and then it goes like this, yeah. It also feels like he's been singing this entire fucking time. It's like just covering the entire track with this long meandering again, like this long, just drawn out vocal take, which is like, eh. Hey, but now came like another little nu metal thing, like nice little not dissonant. Well, it was sort of dissonant. It was like a bend, but that was like a sixth, I think. Probably part of the devil's fuck tone. Oh no! I skipped the song accidentally! I gotta fucking skip back to the part where I was at. This is where I was at. I gotta check now. What the fuck tuning is this? Like drop C? Yeah, it is. Wow, dads. That's really edgy, dads. Let's tune down to drop C. Yeah, that was like a sixth. As I said, it's the part of the devil's fuck tone. I'm a musical genius. I can tell the devil's fuck tone when it's played. I can instantly identify because it's all I've ever been playing. Oh my god! Holy fuck! Oh my god! I actually just died from. I hate to use the word cringe, but because it's so. It's like the word awesome. It's like people who use the word awesome so much that it has lost its meaning. Sort of the same thing with cringe, but this was truly cringe inducing. Not only did fucking James Hetfield just go. Like, and then he's doing Jonathan Davis-isms. Like in my last reaction video, the Deftones one, and I said that, man, I could definitely do without, like in any form of music, I can do without the in Korn, which is also known as the 90s, like when you have like a promo shoot and one of the dudes in the band is like this, like head tilt stare into the camera, 90s edge. 90s edge in a fucking nutshell. That is what this sounds like. Let me just play it out for you and you will know exactly what I mean. Get the fuck out of it. I just wanna get the fuck away from me. Like Cold Chamber levels of cringe. This is awful. This is so fucking bad. I'm in shock. I'm in shock. I can't believe I can't believe I just heard this. Get the fuck out. Holy crap. And this is like 2003. It's not even. I hate it all. Why me? I cannot sleep with a head like this. I wanna cry, I wanna scream. I rage, I gaze, I hurt, I hate. I wanna hate it all the way. Wow. Wow. He was going full on 90s head tilt, stare into the camera, cringe, Jonathan Davis there. Holy fuck. That's all I can say. That was something. Wow, I can't believe it. Rock on, brothers. Wow, Slipknot harmonics. I was talking to Dusty from Between the Buried and Me back when Lulu came out. Remember Lulu? And he said, yeah, we were talking about Lulu, how fucking good it is, obviously. But I don't even think that back then, like 10 years ago, when Lulu, 10 years ago, I don't even think that I was aware of how bad Saint Anger was back then, or what Saint Anger's deal with. I just know that I've heard that, oh, Saint Anger's so bad. I just never listened to it because I hadn't even listened to fucking the Black Album until just recently. But Dusty said, sounds like a what the fuck? Sounds like a bunch of dads that own a bowling alley. And I was like, yeah, well sounds like dads, just dad riffs. That's sort of when I coined the term dad riff. But this sounds like a bunch of dads just hanging out at a fucking bowling alley, just like picking up their guitars and their drum kit and just jamming out. Tuning the drop C and just jamming out. Problem is that this is from a fucking multi-million selling fucking hailed metal act. Even managed to overdo the harmonics. I think they were natural harmonics. They were too consistent to be pinch harmonics. Wee wee. That was cool when they went into like wee wee. I wonder was that hang on. Either that was some studio trickery, or hang on. Yeah, or I don't know. Then it's just a natural harmonic that was like bended a bit first, and then a bit more for the second bend. I don't know. Interesting. That was an interesting part. I like that one. Dare I say that my facial hair right now is more Metallica than this song. My cat has vanished. He had enough. The cat probably went downstairs. It was like, fucking Saint Anger. Again! Stop talking about Saint Anger like you've never listened to the fucking album before. I have to listen to this shit every fucking night! I was about to say that this is so a fucking one take jam that is just like three guys enter the studio, they hit record like fucking okay, fucking let's just go, boom boom, and then James overdubs the vocals in another take or in like one take, and then harmonies in another take on top of that afterwards, and that that ending confirms it. They didn't know what the song was, they didn't know how it was gonna end, when it was gonna end, so they just sort of ended it. Listen to this shit. I don't know. Let's just. Okay, fuck it, we're done. Okay, let's stop. Lars. Boom. Wow, that was a fucking trip. The song was terrible. The production was the best part of the song. The snare was the best part of the song. Lars was the best part of the song. Does that say anything? I don't know. What Metallica should I listen to now? Kill 'Em All?